How does competitive exclusion impact species competition? Have you ever wondered why some species thrive while others seem to vanish from their habitats? This phenomenon can often be explained by the concept of competitive exclusion. So, how does this principle shape the competition among species? Competitive exclusion occurs when two species vie for the same limited resources in an ecosystem. These resources can include food, space, or light. When two species compete for these essentials, one usually gains a slight edge over the other. This advantage allows the dominant species to outcompete the less efficient one over time. The competitive exclusion principle states that two species cannot occupy the same ecological niche indefinitely. The species that uses resources more effectively will prevail. If the weaker competitor cannot adjust its behavior or resource use, it will likely be driven out or even face extinction in that environment. Let's break down how this process works. Initially, both species compete for the same resource. The species with a competitive advantage will exploit that resource more effectively. As a result, the less efficient species will struggle to access enough resources to sustain its population. This leads to a decline in numbers and, eventually, the exclusion of the weaker competitor. However, there is a possibility for the excluded species to adapt. It might evolve or change its behavior to use different resources or occupy a different niche. This adaptation can allow both species to coexist by reducing direct competition. This principle is essential for maintaining biodiversity in ecosystems. It explains how species evolve to occupy distinct niches, which helps to minimize competition. It also illustrates how competition influences species distribution and community structure. We can observe competitive exclusion in various ecological contexts. For example, in microbial communities, one bacterial strain may outcompete another for nutrients. In plant communities, certain species may dominate patches of sunlight and soil nutrients. In animal populations, one species might exclude another from a territory due to overlapping diets. Understanding competitive exclusion is vital for ecologists. It helps them predict the outcomes of introducing new species, managing invasive species, and conserving biodiversity. Recognizing the importance of niche diversity and resource partitioning can lead to healthier ecosystems. So, the next time you see different species in an ecosystem, remember that competition plays a key role in shaping their interactions and survival.